What's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a great morning. It's CryptoVision here, back again with another crypto market update. Today's video, we're going to be covering QNT per premium member request. If you're interested in either the Discord or the Patreon, the link's in the description below. Ton of different accesses, straightforward, direct line of contact if you're looking for that kind of stuff. If you're interested, it's in the description below. Let's get into it. So we got QNT here. I looked at XDC. I just got done looking at Flare. And QNT might look the best. It might look the actual best, okay? Just because you have your, overall structure-wise, you have a huge impulse back in, 2021, right? Last bull market. And you have your nice A, B, C, clean, right? Clean. Okay, very long-term correction. And then this is the best part of it all. So you have your A, B, C, okay? Right here, you have a 1, 2. Okay, you could say you have a 1, 2. Right, this is like your third, your fourth, whatever. Yeah, you have a 1, 2, 3. You have come down for a fourth. Okay, this is looking like a flat, right? Looking like you're coming down, something like this. You did. You took out lows. You double bottom. So I'm gonna say this is your 1, 2. You probably got like a 3, 4, 5 in here somewhere. Okay, it's not as determined on the weekly chart, but when we dive in, guaranteed we're going to see some breakdowns with these, especially with these wicks up through here, these wicks up through here. Okay, it does look like an impulse, which is nice, and then this is very structured, right? This is very structured. You have like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, I like this better. A 1, 2. You have your A, B, C for your third. You have your fourth, and you have your fifth. Okay, and you kind of got like a 1, 2, 3 up. And now this is the big part. Do we have a completed correction to the downside for your C wave? Let's see. So you kind of got like your 1, 2. This definitely looks like your A, B, C for your third. Come back up for your fourth. Come back down for your fifth because you're still closing, right? I know the wicks are. This is Binance, by the way. This is Binance's chart, but the wicks, right? You're getting a lower close. And now, what do we got here? It looks like you got a 1, 2. Looks like you got a 1, 2. I mean, do you have a 1, 2, 3? Is this a fourth? And we're gonna come back down and get a fifth. That's the other alternate scenario. But regardless, you have a clean impulse. You have a 3-wave move to the downside. I'm not a financial advisor. This isn't financial advice, but I'm expecting at least a retrace. And then you can get slammed down into oblivion. So when people are saying, "Oh, the bear market is here. Pack your bags, go cry, go be sad," they just either bought the highs and they're mad. They sold the lows, so they want they want the market to reflect their decision. Everyone wants to be right. You know what I mean? And so they're just mad. They don't like crypto, or they do love crypto and they want to see it go lower so they can buy lower, right? Because they got out. They're on the sidelines. There's a ton of reasons. But just to think that you're going to go down only. Are you going to go down only? I don't think so. So possibly you come down here and take out this low. Possibly, but you already did through there. You already took out that low. So, and you double bottomed. Just perfect. So let's get into it. All right, let's get into it. So if we're just going from a low to a high I'm not going to take all-time highs. I'm not going to do that jazz right now. I'm not going to do that. Some people do that. They take the all-time highs of this, of that, of this. All right, let's get out of this zone first. That's my thing. Let's get out of this zone first. Retrace. If we're looking for some retracements, we're gonna look for our 786. We're gonna look for our 382 levels. We're gonna see how price is reacting at those levels, and look for bearish divergence. Look for weakness in the asset. Right? It's not just sell here. It's right, these targets are okay. What is the price doing? Is it wicking right up to this level? Did it blast through this level? There's certain characteristics that I look for, right? That's covered in the profit taking lab, And so I think those are important, right? I do. I think those are important. So just off the bat, we got 3 to the upside. I do want to check out, some other levels. This one is huge. The 618 is huge. That's already a big level. Um, yeah, it's QNT's in a nice spot. I will say QNT's in a nice spot. I'm gonna add more for sure. That's not it. We're doing our preliminary levels. If you're new to the channel, this is how I operate. We're gonna dissect this. It's gonna be a deep dive. We're gonna go through a bunch of different fib extensions, fib retracements, see if things line up like this right here. We're looking for, correlation. Look at that. Wow. You can't make it up. That's why you sub to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. You can't make it up. Okay? You can't make it up. So we got, convergence with the 382 and the 618. Those are big levels. So those aren't moving at all. Okay, those aren't moving. I'd be a fool to move those. This is that retracement level. So if we are in a retracement, this is kind of that max level I would expect a price to go to. It's not what people want, but you don't always get what you want, right? You don't always get what you want. 67% up. Sorry, it's not. I mean, from these lows, it's probably pretty high. From these lows, it's probably, yeah, look at that, 186%. You got to think of the market makers, the trillionaires, the billionaires who got in down here. I mean, they're gonna buy, they're gonna enter, and they're gonna lift up their shorts, but they're gonna be taking profits up through there, 100%. They ain't messing around with their ROI. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. All right, that's gotta stop. That's gotta stop. Okay, we're gonna go to the 2. We're gonna check that out. Check those levels out. Cool. So 204, 245, 292. Some levels of areas that I could see the price going up to, all the way up to a 240% ROI. If you got in, most people didn't because exchanges were down. Right, that was another problem. But you're looking for the third wave. So it's going to be impulsive. It's going to be crazy. But how does price react to these levels? Does it blast through? Come down, blast through. So you kind of have your 1, 2, your A, B, C for your third. And then you come down for a fourth wave move, like down to here. Boom. Down to here. Previous area of resistance. Probably a little bit less, actually, the way that the markets have been going. Something down through here, the 786. Then you go up for a fifth, possibly, right? Possibly. Regardless, a retracement or a third wave, I think is expected. This weekly candle is starting to look very ugly, very ugly. It's very ugly, very, very, very ugly. And we'll get into that. So in terms of lows, this 1272, it's at $28. Yeah, I don't see that. So I don't see that one happening. I do not. What about, wow, that's a nice B wave. You got past your 618, strong B wave. That could explain why you're having this kind of flat pattern where you're not. I keep forgetting that the Binance low took this low out. But if the Binance low didn't exist, this would look like a flat. It would look healthy. But that's just such many. I don't know how I keep forgetting. It was such a, big event that opened the eyes of many people that were kind of ignorant to the fact that there's manipulation in our market, in this market. So, but I digress. We're gonna hit this 786 up. We're gonna see if that lines up with anything. Wow, it does actually. Perfect. Isn't that funny how when something works out, it's just funny. We can adjust it a tiny bit. Something like that right there. Isn't that funny, right? When something works out like that. It's kind of funny. Okay, so we got 2 levels to the downside. We got some levels to the upside. We'll hop in the daily and we'll check out some levels, right? So if we have this 1, 2, or buckle my shoe, or up through here. And this 786, but you always can. Right, this is that last little hoorah. Trying to really stay above this on the weekly. Trying to stay above that on the weekly. There you go. You got 3 levels to the downside. Got some levels to the upside. This is kind of a big gap. 96 to 124. It's kind of a large gap. But it is what it is. It's crypto. Right? It's crypto. So let's go ahead and see. It's had a green dot on the weekly, and it hasn't done much with it. It had this nice impulse on that green dot. Right? Nice impulse on that green dot, but it hasn't really done anything to it. It's almost wanting to close down here. So I would expect QNT, just based off of price action, what we went through, to kind of hover around this level. Kind of stay down through here. Maybe come up, something like that. Get like a little three-wave move, and then go. This is on the weekly though. So, right, you're closing out this little pullback. You're going to close right on that moving average. You really need to stay above this moving average. You do not want to get down below that moving average again. You do not, because then you can get rejected into oblivion. You can get rejected into oblivion. That's not fun. Is there any bullish divergence? There is bullish divergence, hidden bullish divergence on the weekly. Wow. All right. Wow is right. Okay, see how you got a little bit lower? I know you see it. You got a little bit lower right there. All right, so you have a higher low on price for closing wise. My lines are terrible. Excuse me, please. I don't know what the heck that is. And you got a lower low on RSI. So, your price is holding as your strength is declining, which is a good sign. It's a good sign. Sellers are exhausted. Sellers are exhausted. And I'm talking about big time sellers, not your, friend down the street that says he invests in crypto or whatever. It's big money. Big money's exhausted. They've been selling off into oblivion. Okay, weeks. Been selling since July. 133 days. Dang, that's a while. So, yeah, so that's the weekly. Let's go ahead and hop over to the daily. Yeah, you got that red dot. This is looking nice. So this is even, you break it down on the weekly, and then you just get more information on the daily. This almost looks like we need one more up. This almost looks like a 1, 2, 3, and you got like your fourth wave move down. Yeah, fifth. That's what it looks like to me. That's what it looks like to me. Yeah, because you close below, so that's not going to work. That is not going to work. That 2 extension is right up there. The 1. We did say we had a high. We had a large area in between right through here. This 1618. We're going to add something through here. I don't know where it's going to stay, but it's going up. It's going on. We're going to look for, significant area between the 1272 and the 1618. Okay. A ton of just rejection zones. And then this 1618. This is going to be hard. It's going to be hard to pick this one for sure. I'm going to kind of check out. I want to check out like a ramp up and see if it rejected this level, like come up through here, reject. No, come up through here, reject. All right, here, bounce. Fall below. Kind of like that level. Get above, start doing good work. Get above, do good work. Get down below, kind of hang out. Correct. Get above, do great work. Great work. And then once you lose it, you kind of sit down. Yeah, I like that. I like it. Okay, there we go. There you go, QNT. Those are some levels right there. Like I said, I mean this daily is looking like it wants to do something. I mean not right now. Maybe after, you know, the Fed, figures itself out, but do we have bearish divergence? What was this close? What was the close? What was the close? The close was 72.73, 71.59. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So we got a lower low on price and a higher low on RSI. So that hidden weekly bullish divergence is playing out on the daily. Do we get double bullish divergence? Do you come down on the RSI, take out that low while staying above that, that low? That would be really nice. You kind of just chop around. Maybe you come down to right here and your RSI just tanks. That would align with the weekly kind of going sideways, not really doing much this week. Maybe not. That's not what QNT holders want to hear, but kind of what it looks like. I can, put it on the, trend lines and see what we got going on. Yeah, the way this is postured. Where is this going? The way this is postured, this is just kind of looking droopy a little bit. Little droopy, a little sad. Kind of looks like it wants to get oversold. I mean, this thing has been... It's been getting oversold, though. That's the thing. Let's put something on here. Let's see. That's definitely your A wave. A, B, C. You got a 3-wave move. I mean, I don't know. Crypto just doesn't like following, the laws of... I don't know what kind of laws, but you know what I mean. It just does its own thing. It doesn't really care about TA sometimes. And I'm being honest. I'm not going to tell you that TA is everything. Sometimes it just doesn't care. Sometimes just some random news will do it for you. It does. I mean, let's see if it makes a decision. It's just like Flare. You got till tomorrow. Make a decision. You're going to go sideways. All right, the way the channel works is, I know you see all these lines, maybe get overwhelmed. Don't worry about them. Worry about the channel it's in. You're at the very low of a channel. You're at the very bottom of the channel, right? I'm not a financial advisor. This isn't financial advice. These are my levels. These are my ideas, right? But when you're at an area, key area, an area that I have found to be somewhat relevant, you look to the next level up. How far is that level away? It's 14%. Is it the biggest trade of your life? No. But it's to the upside that you're looking for. You're at the bottom. You're not just buying a random spot. Oh, I'm going to buy right here. It looks good. It's like, why are you buying right there, though? Why are you entering that position? What made you enter that position? What do you like about that asset? Yada, yada, yada. Right, this kind of gives me the idea. This is how I trade. Is, you know what? I do, it looks good. Like Flare. Flare's it's the same level. It's way oversold on that hasn't printed a green dot yet. Way oversold on the Fu Manchu. All right, so Flare, just to give you an illustration. All right, sitting right at the level. Whoa, I messed this up somewhere. I'm sorry about that. I'll come back and fix that. It hasn't printed that green dot yet that I like to see on the weekly. So that's somewhere where I'm possibly going to enter. Right, I got to come back and fix that. That caught me off guard. Where is... There we go. So that's kind of the difference. You too. Get out of here. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. It kind of just looks a little... a little weak sauce, unless you get that, you have your base. If you run up, you're gonna run up through here. Are you gonna reject your moving average and then get oversold? That's where these lower prices come into play. So if I'm a QNT holder, if I'm a QNT connoisseur. If I'm looking at QNT, I'm looking at 84.26, seeing if that holds. Looking at that 96.37, see if that hits. So those are kind of some levels that I would be doing if I was looking at QNT. Doesn't mean you have to do it. Doesn't mean I'm right. Could be 100%, million percent wrong. So as always, I do thank you for stopping by. I thank you for your support. If you're interested in the Discord or the Patreon, it's in the description below. There's tons of different things that are offered through there, and I'd really love to have you. So as always, take it easy. Peace.